You already know what it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. And today we have none other than the...
Ydone.
Yes, Ydone, my brother, the Norwood. So now we're going on to the Norwood series, and the first interview is Ydone. So we're going to be asking him some good questions.
Yeah, good ones. Good
questions, positive questions.
We saying I bust the thing, yeah? We said no one else from Toast. Is it just Toast?
No. The Toast series is still going.
Yeah.
There's still like 50, 40 man that's ready, but...
all right.
I want to move on to the Norwood. I'm not wasting time.
I like that still. When the first one?
Yeah.
So
you're setting the pace for Norwood. You're setting the pace for Norwood. All the Norwood man are going to watch this now and be like, what? Why, brother? Yeah. So you're the first still. What primary school did you go to?
I went to Hitherfield, bro.
You went to Hitherfield?
Yeah, fam.
The one just on that long road?
Yeah, bro. Mad school still.
No, that was a good school.
Nah, it's good now. When I went there, it wasn't good.
Nah, it was always been good.
You're going mad.
So I got kicked out of Fenton when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then they were like, go Hitherfield, it's a good school. And I was like, nah. Hitherfield.
I want to start reading off some names who went there, but I'm not gonna. But it was, bruv. I'm telling you, alright. Hitherfield was
a good school because I'm from Hill, so I know because they were trying to send me there, and I was like, they kicked me out for being bad. They said it was too bad for the school. That's what they said to me.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm telling you, growing up in the 90s, it was mad there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's your man.
Yeah, so man's fighting every day in school.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think? Well, I really want to say the names that went there, you know. Like, listen, if you're from Hitherfield, let this brother know. If you grew up in the 90s, you'll know what time it was, bro.
Yeah, Hitherfield. I went Hitherfield for a little while, and then they just kicked me out. They said it was too bad. My report, it was too bad.
You must have been really bad then, because they allowed man to fight in the school.
Did they?
Yeah, bro.
Because I remember they had a little hill thing, and I used to put people in barrels and push them down the hill.
That's light work.
They kicked me out still. Hitherfield, that's a good school.
You're going mad.
What secondary school did you go to?
I went Harris, which is a good school.
Where's Harris though?
It's in like South Norwood.
When you're going down the hill? Yeah.
So Hitherfield was a case of everyone. So you had Tulsa, Streatham, West Norwood.
Yeah, everyone from...
Yeah, from that surrounding area. But everyone's kind of wild. Like, obviously, I would have thought everyone like is kind of going through whatever they're going through on their estate. And then you go there and it manifests. So you're going like, everyone's kind of got their differences, but by the time kind of like you got through to year 6 and that, it was, I think everyone had their stresses from home on the council estate. Then you kind of mix everyone's kind of home life into one session, like, and it's wild. So when you're saying it's good, I'm telling you, bro, definitely not good. So if you're saying you was bad and you was too bad for Hitherfield, you must be on some next shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like climbing on the top of school roofs and that.
No. They just said they didn't want me in, and I was a little bit surprised because I wanted to go to Hitherfield because I thought it was a good school. Like I came from Fenton, got kicked out, and then they said I tried to go Hitherfield, they didn't let me in, and then they let me into Brockwell, and that was the worst thing I ever done in my life.
Why was that?
That's the worst school ever. That's why it's not even a name anymore, Brockwell.
That's what I don't know.
There's no such thing as Brockwell. It's Jubilee now. Okay. They had to change the name because it was so bad. Yeah, it was bad, bro. That was the worst school I've ever been to in my life.
But Harris, though, that was, I reckon, that's what I was going to say. From Hitherfield, obviously growing up where I grew up, then going to Hitherfield, everything was kind of manifesting in a certain way. And my kind of where I wanted to go was Kingsdale. Because that is where man was heading. Obviously, my big bro went there, Starter's gone there, and they're coming home. They're older than me, innit? Yeah. Like everyone I kind of rode was a bit older, so they're coming home with some wild stories, and it just felt like an extension of Hitherfield. So my mum has basically seen that if he goes to Hitherfield, if he goes to Kingsdale,
he's done.
Yeah,
he's done.
So growing up through school, like mum was never like intelligent. I was that kind of child that you would I need the extra help. Like they'll take me out of the class and have someone sit down because I just never paid attention, innit? But I think that was not down to like a lack of intellect or intelligence. I think I just didn't care much. Do you know what I mean? So if they're teaching you something, whether I got it or not, I just wasn't invested in what they were saying to me.
Was you good at sports though? Because you must have had a sport.
Yeah. No, I was fast. Like if you know me from Norwood, like a breeze, innit? But so it was either that and then later on in life basketball. I got into both football teams. I got into the football team and basketball team in school, but yeah.
Basketball. I don't really hear a lot of men say they done basketball.
Do you know that everyone kills me for that still? Everyone kills me for that.
Everyone.
Do you know what it was?
Footy, bro.
Yeah, no, but it was football. I got onto the football team, but I just thought like, I don't know, I just like basketball a bit more.
Yeah, I was good at all sports, but I've never like said, bro, I'm gonna go play basketball one day with the man them. It's not something that, like, if it was a basketball there and the man them's there, we'd start throwing it.
Yeah, no, but more time obviously you play football because that's what the man them are playing. But I'm talking about in school, I was playing basketball and I played football. So I played both. How
was your experience in Harris? Like, how did you find it going to Harris? Because it was a good school.
It was mad because obviously I'm coming from where I'm coming from, which is the same shit where everyone, like council estates and work. And then obviously in Hitherfield, it's the same shit. So when you go there now, it's a culture shock. For two reasons. One being that it's the first time I ever experienced something called classism. As in, you have the middle class people looking down on the lower class. I've come from a certain level of poverty where you're getting hand-me-downs. Not like I've got like 3 older siblings. I'm getting my eldest siblings who's passed it down. So I'm not going in with a fresh bag. Like my shoes were new, but I'm just they could tell where I'm coming from. So I'm getting that kind of pressure from not just black youths now. Like this is like, obviously when we was all in here, it was all level playing field, but I'm getting like the middle class black youths onto me, middle class white youths onto me, but you don't know where I'm coming from. So my first kind of week, I brought whatever aggression I've got into there. Punched one in the face in the first week. Another person in the second. Year 7.
Whoa.
Intern, that's what I'm trying to say, because man's come from Hitherfield. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like, I don't know what you heard or what you thought, but it wasn't that good or nice, innit? So that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not. I'm saying I don't know what it's like now, bro. But I'm telling you. If you went there, and even people who kind of know me or I know them, if you went there during that time, it was mad still. So, boom. That first 2-3 weeks, I'm in that kind of level of detention. You see where it's like, if you get through these, you're out. But after like the 3rd time I've done it, like every time I've done it, they didn't even hit me back. So it's already crazy to me because in Liverpool that's not happening, on the state that's not happening. So I'm like, boom, then nothing's happening, boom again, nothing's happening. So after the 3rd time that happened, all that kind of classism died down. But anyone else who was kind of from that background, whether you're like white or black, they were onto you. So it was like a bullying kind of culture if you allowed it to happen, but not from the kind of like bad boy bullies. It's like a looking down on man kind of.
Okay.
That's what I would have called it.
That's so psychological though.
Yeah. But it was. I would say Harris was good for me because I needed to channel that. I needed that balance to kind of offset whatever the fuckeries man was going through, home life and on the estate. It was like, right, there is a whole nother side, and it was some level of discipline that is unbeknown to anything I ever experienced. In regards of like, if you done like something bad, it was blowing out of proportion. Like, this is the worst thing you could ever do.
But in Harris?
In Harris. So you didn't want to do it again. Do you know what I mean? So I think it kind of like, it balanced me in that kind of, that sense. It was kind of good to kind of level out whatever aggression I had in school. But still in lessons, I still weren't paying attention. I still had that kind of person sat next to me, not next to me, but up until like year 8, they would like take me out of the class, focus, like, what is this? You know what I mean? It's very much like that. So I think education-wise, I think it was really good for people who had it naturally. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I think for the kind of aggression kid, it's like the aggressive kid, they had to kind of like neutralize that first in whatever way. It's kind of like almost a kind of break that down, and then you'll be able to kind of get the teaching. But yeah, it's alright still, man. It's alright. So
when would you say that things went bad in school, or things just went good in school? Did you finish school?
Yeah, I finished school. So, but in regards of like grades, I don't know how much to even say, but I started kind of doing things on the estate from about 13, 14. And I took that into school, what I was doing. Okay. So, like, it's middle class. So they got money. I'm not waiting for, do you know what I mean? I'm not waiting for people to get their little fivers or whatever. They got money there. So what I'm doing in school is a mad thing. It's about 13. Like my son's 12. If I ever found out he was ever doing those things, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say. So in regards, like, I was just kind of like lucky to not get caught with the stuff I was going on in there. But I didn't finish with good grades though.
Why not?
I just don't think I was too bothered about it.
Yeah, it wasn't like it gets to an age where you're not really bothered about school, you're just about whatever else is going on.
And I'm making money.
Yeah.
I'm really making money.
Yeah.
So in my head, and what I've seen growing up, where I grew up, is it's 9 to 5 thing ain't for me. Like, I know where I'm going. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But deep down, I think that I did have the intelligence, but I just didn't have the self-belief that. Do you know what I mean? I never believed I was gonna be an A-star student. Whether I had that intelligence or not, I just didn't believe it. So maybe that's why I didn't invest in it. But who knows, bro?
Would you say that you in where you grew up, you had role models?
What do you mean, like good role models or like
positive role models?
Nah, definitely not positive. Definitely not positive. I think probably same story. Like, I think growing up, I grew up in Yeoman Close. Not that I think everyone kind of classes a certain part of West Norwood as Yeoman. There's only one Yeoman Close. No shade to anyone, but there's only one piece of it. Still, everything else surrounding that, you got Franklin, Fry, and Muse, but Yeoman was Yeoman, innit? So I grew up there. And my kind of childhood was up until my dad left, we knew financial stability. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And then after that, so it's financial stability, but not a lot of love. Then after the financial stability left, I know poverty, like I'm talking about extreme poverty, but we know love.
Explain that a little bit more better for the people, because that's actually deep what you just said.
Yeah. So when you say
financial stability, but no love. That's deep.
So I would say my dad was like a militant man in the sense of...
He's from the West Indies, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So when I say he's militant, he could be like, so in my mum's house there was like 3 landings. 3 landings, 2 flights of stairs. I could be at the top landing. Jason! I got a breeze downstairs as fast as I can. I can't call out across the house and say, yes, Dad. Nah, bro. Man's got to run down the stairs, almost like you're drilled. Like, yes, sir. It's almost like that. And if you don't, it's a mad thing. So it wasn't more love, it was just discipline.
It wasn't a balance, basically.
No.
There wasn't
definitely
a balance.
Definitely not. And no disrespect to anyone else in the household. Obviously, my mum's trying her best.
Yeah.
And that's where the love came from, but I can relate to.
Yeah.
So there's we got close. We got, you know what I mean? We were getting things because I think that's what sometimes you get kind of misconstrued as a parent, that you think that's what your child needs. Your child needs the latest shit.
Yeah.
Or your child needs to be well disciplined. But really, I think what you really do need is love. And that's coming from the mum and not the dad, really. So when he left, all of that financial shit that we, that was in check, that all went out the window. And then the poverty kicks in. Do you know what I mean? And with the poverty, but we still got love amongst us. And obviously now the militant side is not there, and it's not highly disciplined. I could have never got away with some of the things I was doing in school with my dad there.
Never.
Do you know what I mean? So discipline's gone out the window, militant's gone out the window, financial stability's gone out the window, but we got love and we got poverty. So I don't know which one you want to choose. Do you want to be poor and loved, or do you want to kind of be well disciplined and financially good? Do you know what I mean? So it's
a hard question. It's a hard question, and just branching off, a lot of people went through what you went through. Don't think.
Yeah. It's not a unique story, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a unique story.
It's like you'll be so surprised that most of us went through that.
Yeah.
Even me, I went through that. Like, my dad was just mad disciplined and on his thing. Like, this is how it runs. And same thing if I don't go downstairs and get something that he tells me, bro, when I come upstairs, I'm done out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was a scary feeling because man was a little bit shook if man's honest to a certain extent, because man's young, innit? And obviously man was big and whatever.
Yeah.
And mum would show man all the love. She would always come after and, heal man up and you know what I'm saying? And
but this is what I'm saying. So everyone, like you said, it's not a unique story.
Yeah.
We're all going through this, but then we're all going to the same school.
Yeah.
Let's have it out there. Do you know what I mean? And then this is what I was saying, Rob. For you to say here before, I'm not going back to this. Yeah.
He's not gonna let
No, because you know what? No, No, because East Hill was a good school.
Him
And if
and
you was
Phil
there in
was
the
a good
90s,
school.
if you was there in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? I just need some people to comment on this. But yeah, back me up, bro. Like, yeah, so, yeah. So I think, what was you saying? Yeah, it's not a unique story. Definitely not a unique story, bro.
But I think, yeah, that's deep. Everyone, I thought I was the only person that went through it, but coming to realise as I get older, because I think a lot of people, we don't speak about it, innit? In the black community, it's not looked at as something that you speak about.
What,
and
discipline or?
No, the stories about the stuff you went through when you was younger from your family. It's not something that, it's a taboo to ever speak about it.
But it's what happened though.
Yeah.
These are the facts. And sometimes the story is not always, sometimes the story doesn't even have a good end, bro. People go off the rails. Like what kind of environment that we grew up in that could send someone over the edge?
Trust me.
Do you know what I mean? So you've gone through all of that, then just to kind of commit suicide or you start smoking or, do you know what I mean? So I think it does need to be touched on, especially if it's true.
100% it's true. 100% true. A lot of people got beaten by their parents to a certain extent that it built anger inside of them, and they took that anger outside. Yeah. That's why some people were they was over aggressive or overly violent. Yeah. It's not because they hated the world or they had beef or something. It's just that what they were going through at home, they didn't know how to, and because our parents are not looking at it like it's something wrong because they happen to them. Don't you get it?
Yeah. I think we was discussing that it's coming. We were talking about the kind of slave mentality and trying to break that cycle.
Explain that to people because that was deep what you said to me.
Well, whipping is what they kind of done, obviously, as a way to kind of discipline the slaves that were kind of being bad, innit? So this whole whipping mentality has been kind of passed down through generation that when our parents and their parents, you'll get beat with a belt. That's what the slave masters used to do to the bad slaves, isn't it? So they've passed this down, and obviously when you get beats with a belt, whatever you was doing before, you're gonna fix up. You need to pattern up because you don't want those lips. you don't want those lips again, innit? No. So not only is it kind of like you're getting those kind of welts on your body, but mentally it's breaking you. You mentally should be getting disciplined because it's a slave tactic, whippings, isn't it? So you will never hear. I'm not saying that white kids don't beat their child with a belt, but it's more happening in the West Indian community. Yeah. Don't know about Africans, to be fair. Probably I wouldn't be surprised, but
probably as well,
definitely a lot of Caribbeans beat their kids with a belt, and it's
wire or anything.
Yeah, it's something that was what kind of resembles a whip, bro. Man's getting that, and that's from the kind of slave master to the slaves.
Do you think it's right to beat children?
I don't know, man. I don't know, because obviously what man went through, it was a case of that I knew what it did to me as a child, and where you should want love from your father, you're a bit in fear of him. I don't want my child to fear me. But it depends on when. Definitely not beat, but I reckon that sometimes you need to put them in check still.
Of course.
Sometimes you need to put them, like I said, my son's 12, like 4 years, if I don't start G-checking him now, do you reckon that 4 years time he's not going to try and size me out one day?
Probably already is.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, I could take him soon. Like when my voice breaks and he gets a little bit, you know what I mean? But I don't think it's right to beat your children. It depends as well, because look, there's two forms of discipline. There's one when you're doing it because you're angry, and there's another when, you're in control and you're thinking, okay, I need to put my child back in check in a certain way. And it depends on the follow-up, bro. Like, if you go and slap your child and it's out of character and you're vexed and you go like that, I don't think that's acceptable. But if it's like, okay, you're being disrespectful to your mum, I've told you once, you haven't listened, so you're not respecting my voice.
Yeah.
Here's the follow-up.
Yeah.
Then, on top of that, after they cried or whatever, you go into the room and say, look, son, I told you once, do you understand why I had to do that? I think if you could kind of like get them on, speak to them on a level, like give them the credit that they're intelligent little people, bro, and say, this is what's happened, I don't want to see that again. I reckon the follow-up is probably more important than the discipline itself.
100%.
I would say that.
Because if you're getting beats and you know or not, you're getting beats for small things and you don't realise, no one's even breaking it down.
No.
Wise man's dirty like that. Man's in the room thinking, this is mad. I need to get out of this. That's what I was kind of thinking. I think beating children is I don't think you should beat children, and to a certain extent there's different levels of beating. Like grab your hand and go, don't do that again. I don't think that's really beating. For me, what beating is that when man's going all out and just trying to mash you up, and your body's got bruises because of that, and you
man's had those licks still.
Man's
had those licks still, bro. Man, no, that's what I'm saying. This is why, and this is probably why I'm so soft, because it's either as us men going through that, we could even manifest that, and we then, you know, we take on whatever our parents did to us. The cycle doesn't break, or you find another way, bro.
And you know, it's a subconscious thing, because you won't even know you're moving like that until you check yourself, because you'll be like, "Raw, am I?" Because that's what happened to them. Don't you get it? Yeah. I don't think no parent says to himself, "I'm gonna mash up my kids today," but because of what happened to him, he's doing it. Not even he's thinking, "I'm not even as bad as my dad was."
Exactly. That's what you will hear. I'm nothing like what you went through is nothing like what I went through.
Like, I could give it to you worse, and you're like, "Bro, this worse than this."
Yeah. Like, shit, my skin's already open, man. Shit.
Man's already bruised down. His arms all crippled.
It, bro. I had 3 other siblings, bro. We're going and we're showing our marks. Like, let me see your one. We're like this, like it's normal, bro. And the thing is, we start to normalize these things, because obviously I'm out in the estate. I'm mixing with the African children, the white, the Indian, and I'm just thinking, right, everyone gets these licks. I'm trying to say,
no, bro.
I'm thinking it's normal, bro. No. When you get older, you're like, bro, that went quite right still.
That wasn't right. And I think if we don't break the cycle now of our children being soft and showing them love, we're gonna fall into that same category that they was. Not even realizing that we're thinking that he done bad. I had to discipline him. That makes sense. These times you're just turning into some savage on the estate that's mashing up people in school.
Yeah, that's what happened. And this is why I could kind of see it with me and my bro, because me and my brother, obviously we grew up in the same household, went through the same things, went to Hitherfield, both aggressive, up until I went to Harris, that shit died down. My brother's aggressions, you know what I mean?
You were at Kingsdale?
Yeah.
Do
you know what I mean? So it's like a man had the visual of the difference just from different secondary schools. So I think it's pretty important, man. Because you could turn into a savage just from what's happening in your house.
100%. Something that's not really spoken about as well. That topic, I've never heard anyone. I think a lot of people are shy to talk about it. Like, oh yeah.
What, man got licks as a kid?
Yeah, but serious licks.
That's not your fault.
Yeah,
you're not in control of that.
Yeah, but man don't want to look soft. You know how men
always want to look. You know, but this is what people need to understand. Childhood trauma is real shit. Like you said, it's not a unique story, bro. Man's gone through that. Some people gone through worse. You know what I mean? Even closer to home. So it's a thing of that. I understand the kind of taboo of being a victim, bro, but it's out of your control. It's not. You didn't ask for it. There's nothing you could have really done to avoid it. You're talking about a grown-ass man. How many times your strength giving you licks or probably something you don't deserve? I don't know, man. I think sometimes you just kind of got to look your trauma in the face and realize that it's not on you, really. I reckon that's how I would kind of take it. I wouldn't be embarrassed of it. It's not like, you see, if you was then to go and bruck up a little kid, as a big man, you should feel embarrassed about that. That should be harder to talk about than being the kid that went through it, I reckon.
Oh, geez, man, that's deep. I'll never talk about them topics to anyone. Everyone just has to hide that champ. Like, I never got beats. He never done anything to me, because the beats that I got, it kind of mashed me up still. I ain't gonna lie to you. I went to school bare age. I was punching up bare, man. And I'm thinking, man, I actually punched up a lot of kids because of that.
Exactly.
I was getting out at home and I'd come to school and then someone just say something I just didn't even like and just look at him.
Yeah.
So anyone that I violated in primary school, forgive me, please. I'm sorry. It wasn't. Was it
uncalled for though, or was it like there's certain distance man couldn't take that? Right, you need to get a punch up now, and I'll run man around the playground, chase man around the playground.
No, my things were just.
Or is it just like
I might apologize.
Short fuse.
I apologize, please. For punching me in the face when I was younger, it wasn't. I was going through a lot at home.
Unapologetic, bro. Unapologetic. And this is what it was, and you could tell who was kind of on that and who weren't, because man was watching Power Rangers and trying to probably emulate that. Like, you know the man there are not going through what man's going through. You know what I'm trying to say? man's trying to do that fly kicks, and man's not on that already. Man's young and not on that, bro. What you man? You wanna fly kick me? Are you mad? Like, this ain't Power Rangers. Boom! Like it was, it was actually like that. Mad, man.
You're killing me.
Mad.
How was it growing up in Norwood?
It's mad because what we don't talk about is like a crap pandemic that happened. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a new drug. I think some people, I don't know. If you're a crackhead now, man can't, like, what the fuck? You should know better. Nah, not on a bad man thing. Obviously, people got habits in that area. No, man's got habits, and I understand that addictions are mad. But if it's something like, that you want to get into to crack at 20, 21, what are you doing, bro? Like, you don't know the history of this drug. What are you doing? Back then, probably a lot of kids didn't know it.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't know.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, man's grown up in the crack pandemic, kind of, but once my dad left, it was like I said, the discipline went out the window. As in, like, before when my dad was there, you only could go like 10 steps away from the doorstep. Do you know what I mean? It was that deep.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gizmo lived round the back of me. There was kind of starters bit at the top, then a couple man down there. Do you know what I mean? But man wasn't really allowed around there. But when my dad went, it's like my mum was allowed those things to happen. So I'm now out there. I'm out there, like, properly. Do you know what I mean? So man's seeing like who's making money, how certain things are happening. So me growing up in Norwood was a case of that I saw my older generation as the role models.
But you said crack pandemic, so were these guys crackheads? Because a lot
eventually I came to kind of see that some of them went on food.
Thank you. A lot of you elders were on crack. And I don't have no shame in my voice to say
No,
this.
but this is what I gave them the respect that they didn't know any better. Like I said, if you get into it now, 2021, you should know about this drug. Back then, it might have just been the cool thing to do. Or, right, I've already been bunning hella weed, let me get on to the next thing. Let me start smoking that. That's where my next high is at. Not knowing that, right, it's going to turn you into a proper nitty. Maybe they didn't have that knowledge. So I'm giving them a bit of credit.
Well, you know what's funny? Some of the elders from my area that smoked crack, they looked like...
They maintained.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Like Machino.
Yeah.
Like everything you can
and
think of.
This is where I'm going to segue into what you're saying now. Because what's happening is, when I'm looking out the window and I'm in there, these youths are flying the Abbey National counter. There's no shutters. There's no CCTV. Banging the clerk in their face. Grabbing all the peas. Coming back up to Yeoman. Giving out cash to the youngers. To me, they were my heroes. As a 9-year-old, you're a sponge, innit? You're taking in all of this information. You're thinking, oh man, like before my dad left, I didn't even know what money was really because we was patterned, innit? But after that, I understood poverty and I knew what money was. And I'm thinking, right, I'm on a level of that. As soon as I get tall enough, I'm doing the same thing. As soon as I can fly that counter in Abbey National, I'm 9 years old. This is where my mind's at. Because I'm poor, innit? So my level of poverty is not, I need to buy clothes. I need to get food, bro. I'm hungry. My brother's hungry. My sister's like, I need to get food. So it's more like, how am I, like, it's so young and naive and innocent that if I get money, I'm going to buy food for everyone.
Mad.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm that young. So I'm
innocent.
like, I'm 9 years old and I'm thinking, right, I should be, by the time I'm 13, I'll be taller.
Man's planning it out.
That's my plan. By the time I'm 13, I'm tall enough. In that time, CCTV's introduced. Don't know if feds had like a bit of knowledge of, like, obviously it's a clever bunch of people in the Metropolitan Police. So at a certain time, they probably laid out these kind of sting things like, okay, if they've done Norwood, Streatham, next one's Stockwell or Brixton. And then all my olders got swiped off. So I had like a certain generation of olders. I had an older set. All of them went. So my plan is like, right, my plan's gone out the window. Luckily, because there was no other option. There was no other option, bro. And then all of them got arrested, and it was a case of like, what does man do now? And like you said, where they're kind of breaking up peas, obviously, you know, there you go, little man, take that tenner. Like, man's going to buy food. Obviously, that's all I used to do with the money, innit? I'm on you now. What else am I gonna do? But the rest of that pea, obviously, they'll go and buy the little ting to bun, then they'll go and buy the mosh. And now it looks like, wow, I want that a bit. You know what I mean? So it looks like they're maintaining, but it's all kind of like, not in vain, but what it's only so far cracking clothes are going to take you, bro. Do you know what I mean? But at that age, I'm not gonna lie, bro. That was a case of that. There was no other option. There was nothing else I was gonna do. Obviously, I wasn't gonna bun food. My mum kind of told me a couple stories, but I've got no other kind of role model or direction. But what I've seen. You know what I'm trying to say? But luckily for me, this is where I will drop 2 names in Norwood, Philly and Digo, Darren. These 2 brothers here were so book smart, and by the time I got to like 13, 14, that's when like it's kind of like 2 major estates in Yeoman. It's not like Tulsa, bag estates, Yeoman and Dunbar, and this is when we kind of clicked up. So even though like everyone's trying to make their money and do their thing, these 2 here were on such a level that it was like, okay, they're not just going to college to go college. They're not just, they've got a plan to go uni and that. And it was, I would never say that I was ever like a follower, but I was influenced. You know what I'm trying to say? So where I was influenced by my elders, they got rubbed out, respectfully. No, I'm not even being bad, man.
No, it's real.
No.
It's real.
So they got rubbed out by the feds or by smoke and whatever. It was like, okay, cool. I'm now on a level playing field. It's not older youths, even though I was kind of like one of the younger ones. But it's like, what are my peers doing? Do you know what I mean? And it was from those 2 brothers there what made me think, right, like, it's actually something beyond here. Like, there is university, there is the good job. Like, it was just there, even though there was on the madness, both of them. Both of those 2 brothers were on madnesses, but at the same time, they've got their book back, and they're hella smart. And it just made me think, right, hold on, there's another way to go.
So when did you lot start Norwood's Most Wanted? When did that
Around
start?
that time.
Around that time?
14. When Plan A went out the window, I can't rob the Abbey. It was like we all linked up. So that was almost when the Dunbar and Yeoman Close, NMW. Okay. And this is where a lot of the kind of history goes out the window, and where I say I weren't a follower, because man was on a mad thing back then. Like, but not me per se. Like I have never like I said, I weren't a follower, but I was influenced. But just because you man are gonna run through, I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not saying drop those 2 names now. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about a whole different thing now. I'm just talking in general. But where man would like kind of be quick to bruck someone up or run through someone's yard, that's not me. I'm on paper. I had my own lane. You know what I mean? I'm on money. So, and I just saw it as like, respectfully, not like a bummy thing, but if you was to kind of rob someone's phone, you split it 5 ways, you got 10 in each, drop me out. Where I could kind of run up and down and get how much money I'm going to get a day for myself. So
there was an older that put you on, basically, like everyone ends has an older in their ends that
no one put me on. What?
Just like raw as food.
No. Not like that.
So how did you created your own lane?
Self-made.
Gee. Respect that. Because everyone has like a...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You lot's olders were sick. When I think of it, I'm not going to drop no names, but proper things, bro, because obviously managed to kind of link some people my age group and knew what their elders were doing for them. So when I'm saying sick, I'm not saying it in like a positive way, but if that's the life you chose and that's the life you lived, you was given an opportunity from the elders. In mine, it wasn't really like that still. But yeah, I'll just leave it like that.
So we identified that a lot of elders were crackheads. There's nothing wrong with that. Listen,
you're on that. See, I keep going up to Liverpool. Yeah, he's bunning these elders, you know. Man's keep. Why you keep calling them crackheads for?
No, I love my elders. I love my elders.
So why are you calling them crackheads though? But you're not even getting them respect. Look, I tried to defend you, man. You know, and I said, "Rah, obviously you lot didn't know what the drug was. Like, yeah, you can make that mistake. If you get to 2021, what you doing?"
I had a lot of respect for the elders, and the reason why is because like I just knew them from back in the day, and I was a young boy coming up, and you know, stuff like that. But then when I got to an age of I'm an elder to the youngers, I started to realise that what they done to me was manipulation. I was manipulated a lot.
Okay.
Because they was just telling me, they weren't telling me the right things. Like now I'm older, if a younger comes to me and says, yeah, drop me some food, or can you get me some food and stuff, and I'll be like, bro, you can make that same money for a legit job or like.
Yeah, but they have to be on that though, to know that.
What do you mean?
Like, how can I tell you something I don't know about? How can I tell you to go and get a legit job or start a business when I've never done that? That's
the same thing that Stacks was saying. Stacks was saying that they did the best that they could for
yeah,
me.
Because you've come to them And I don't know, maybe I got it wrong there, but if you come to them, so even with me, certain kids, let me not say kids, certain youngers that used to come to me, no chance.
But why though?
Stay in school.
See, but that's a good elder though.
Yeah, and I was one of them come to me the other day. He said, "Bro, don't you remember when I was asked?" And he's big time now. I don't you remember when I was asked? I was like, "Nope, don't remember at all." So that's how they might have seen you, Ray. They might have.
I was manipulated, man. They used me for financial. They used me for financial.
Oh yeah, true.
I say that to say this because obviously they made money, I made money, so it was all a good.
Okay.
It was a good transaction.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, there were so many other things that they could have shown, but maybe, like you said, they didn't have the knowledge to show them something. So,
and I had my next door neighbour, who I loved like a little brother, asked me to bus him, begging me to bus him. I was like, right. And I had to kind of sit him down, like, right. Every time you see me coming back, I got my book bag on. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I was going to college at the time, still fucking around, still weren't serious. So just know that I'm trying to work towards something different than what man's doing. You weren't hearing that. Like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes it is the youngest kind of temperament that you can see that I'm trying, but no one's gonna. All you're seeing is the money that's coming in now. You're not seeing where man's trying to go, and you're not seeing that I'm trying to go legit and I'm trying to get. You know what I mean? Trying to get my own business. You're not seeing all of that. All you're seeing is what I've got on, or if I got a new whip, or da 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 da. I don't really want for much. I'm okay financially. So sometimes it's hard. It was like a battle. Why am I having to struggle with this kid and say, don't go down the bad route? Begging him almost. It's still end up going down the bad route. So maybe I wasn't that influential. Or maybe that is just that you want to take whatever you wanted to take from my story. You know that I've got my book bag on, I'm going to college. That's not cool. What you're doing on the ends is cool. I want some of that life. I don't want to go down. I don't want to go to college and do all of that. So maybe it's a very strong mind. Like I said, you got to give these little people credit. They're hella intelligent. Sometimes they're the kind of mindset. Obviously, you mature, your brain develops, but sometimes you like if you're kind of like stubborn as a 12-year-old, you can be stubborn as an adult. That's a part of your characteristic. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So, right, there's only so much you could do, man. And for the kids that I couldn't do much for, let's talk and let's see if I can help you out.
But you know, it's I find it like crazy because Norwood and Tulsa are so close, like, but Tulsa never actually had beef with Norwood. You know that we never actually had beef. I don't remember ever having beef with no one in Norwood.
Nah, because we're highly connected. Like we used to kind of roll with the high trees once, kind of.
Yeah.
And some like starters related to someone in the new estate. Yeah. And then under that you had like the caps and stacks who man knew. Yeah. You was kept to get like it was like very much like cousins.
Yeah, it was like a family thing. Yeah. That's why I used to love Guy Norwood because everyone Norwood always showed me love and it was just always a nice place. Yeah. Even though it's very dangerous, and I always tell people Norwood's a very dangerous place. And don't ever think that Norwood's a sneaky place and you just cut through and you just get. There's so many bodies in Norwood that I'll never forget. Growing up, I just always say, yeah, he's got shot in Norwood, he got shot in Norwood, he got shot in Norwood, he's dead in Norwood. Kind of Norwood's a dangerous place. I know everyone never know. You know, like people that's not from the ends. Yeah. They just think, Norwood's sneaky, I'm just gonna move there.
Yeah. Probably, I don't know what it was like now, but do you know what? Like, man would have thought about Tulsa as well. And this is where you realise, until the other day, I watched Dax's one. I was like, right, everyone's actually in their own bubble. When you were saying that, right, you know, you was living in Tulsa and there was nothing, life not outside of Tulsa already. In Norwood, everyone's the shit. Do you know what I mean? There's no like, yeah, you got other bits, but yeah, it's all about Norwood. And in Tulsa's the shit. The man can't chat to man really. Like, do you know what I mean? Like this sort. Every bubble's thinking that still. Like it's that mad.
Because that's the youngers now have developed that same mindset, but it's 6 times more realer.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. 6 times more realer. So do you think the music has an impact on behaviour?
Which music though? Like what I was listening to or what's going on now?
Just music in general. Do you think
how much it impacts behaviour? It's a hard one, bro.
So for instance, you're just sitting there and you're listening to drill music all day. Is that going to affect your mind?
Probably, but it didn't really influence me like that. Sometimes when I kind of listen to lyrics, like, I like to hear someone's story. Like, I like an artist that has a story. Mm-hmm. Some artists, I'm not going to say no names, but it's a case of that you have no story, bro. Really. Like, you might be sick, but how many times can you say that you're sick at clashing people or you know, you're the sick money man that you've made from music? Like, do you know what I mean? So I reckon I used to listen to respect people's stories.
Do you think it has an impact?
I'm trying to really dig deep with that.
If you're listening to Jay-Z, are you a money man? If you're listening to D-Block, are you a gun man? If you're
because I used to listen to Hov.
Yeah, see,
what's what I listen to was Jay-Z.
So he was a money man. See,
I
would know a man from the music he listens to. Like, I used to go to my brethren's Skins, big up Skins and Stan. You don't know who you are, big you are all the time. Stan.
What?
Not Stan, there's another Stan. Okay. Stan the man. Everyone knows. Was it Sticky Fingers or Sticky? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, you done it. Yeah. I was on Sticky Business. The big man. Yeah, the go-to. Yeah.
So, big up Stan. Stan used to listen to Hov. That's all he used to listen to. But then guess what I learned about him?
Big money man.
He was a money.
Yeah.
He was all about his money. Every time I linked him, he just talk about money. Yeah, I'm getting this money. I'm doing this. Like, not even about all this fly stuff. And he's just about his money.
Yeah,
he's a big money man. And he made me think, wow. So if you listen to Jay-Z, you're a money man. Like, that's all
I listened to.
Yeah.
From when everyone was kind of listening to like grime garage. Like this is the funniest thing. Never listened to it. Never liked it.
You used to do grime though.
Exactly. So what's happened is it's the mad story. What I used to listen to was Tupac and Biggie. They got rubbed out. I started listening to sorry. They got killed. Started listening to Jay-Z. Blueprint kind of hit. So I'm listening to that. I used to hear like I hated it. We've gone to a house party. And I brought everyone to the house party. Then they put on like a grime set DJ, and then all the man spitting Digo, K-Boy was there, Ace, Starter. And I didn't have no lyrics in it. And it's like, bro, man, you can't spit. I have to come out the circle, bro. From my heart, so I just had to take a step back and see all of them vibing. I was like, bro, I'm gonna go home right at 8 bar. Literally, bro, the same night, fam, I went home. I said, right, man needs to get in that circle somehow. It's actually that fickle, and I reckon this is why obviously I took it serious, but not as serious, because obviously I'm making money at the same time. So it's like, right, and at that time there wasn't much money in music. So it's in between doing what I'm doing, I write a little bar. Do you know what I mean? Even when we were not on top, or when I made it, do you know what I mean? It was never much effort because I was making money at the time, and the way I got into it wasn't just a standard way of like my passion for music or passion to be a lyricist. It was an idiot way that man told me to come out the circle. I thought, I felt shut down. Like man just shut me down. Like right, I brought you man there. Man telling me to move back. Like right, hold on. So I just went right. So.
You listen to Hov.
Yeah.
Making you want to make more money.
Probably still. Yeah. So subconsciously.
Because he's just talking about dough.
Yeah.
He's not a killer. He's not really talking about the whole album talking about killing.
Yeah. And I wasn't on that. I was never, like I said, like if the man were rushing someone, I'm not involved. What am I gonna? It's 10 if you kicking him already. What's my 11th kick gonna do, bro? I'm right. Thinking about to get paper the next day.
Tell me a crazy story. I've got a crazy story of everyone that sits there. I even got one with you and you don't even remember it.
Go on.
Let me give you a memory. Relax. One day was in Heath Pond. There was a party. Do you remember this party? And you lot was doing a set before we came. So it was you, Starter, Ace. There was a few of you. There was a few of you up there, and you was all doing a set. And we came. The Tulsa ones. But like I said, Tulsa Norwood always been cool because Gizmo, my cousin, you know what I'm saying? Rest up to Gizmo.
Rest in peace, bro.
We came there and you lot was doing a set, and we came, and I think we wanted to do a set, but you lot was doing a set. You lot had all on lock. Do you remember this day, Pond?
I remember something at the Pond and I clashed Tent Man.
But this is years ago.
Okay.
You did clash Tent Man.
Was it at the same thing?
The same thing.
And then something mad that happened outside?
Yes. We're not going to go into too much details, but the Gypset ones were there. Because I came with the Gypset ones. Because we went down there and the Dirty 30 ones, blah, blah, blah. And then the man was up and outside. But do you remember that day though?
I do, but I thought it was another time. I think it was even Bouncer was holding that.
Okay, so
Bouncer was holding the rave at the party. This I read in my man's story. But yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about. And obviously,
Yeah.
they got Bouncer as well.
Yeah.
Bouncer, big you up.
He's sick, because even we're talking about how many years ago.
That was like what, 2000?
Something.
6 or 5?
2000, a man's holding raves that big boys are going to and spitting for him. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to kind of check his mindset of where he was at. But yeah, go on, what's the mad story?
Yeah, it's just a mad story because basically we came to do our set and you lot was doing your set.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know what happened, but man was trying to grab the mic. Because that's what man was on. Man was always on this, like, moving mad. But you lot was cool, it was all cool, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I swear somebody want to let the mic off, so man, it got into a little, what? Do you know
Well, between us and you?
Yeah, but it wasn't like, it was just like me versus someone. I don't know.
Oh, was it passive? Like it was almost
bro,
like a Cold War.
Give me the mic, and someone's like, "What? You ain't getting the mic?" Oh, they were spitting, and I'm like, I'm going for my turn. But you know when man does this, this is when you know man's taking the mic. When you're spitting like this, yeah, and you're like, you're going for the mic, and man's going, that's a violation.
That's a violation.
It's a violation. So obviously the man them are looking at me like, bro, like what's that? And I'm like, what? So I think I've tried to grab it now, got it. And then man starts spitting, and then everyone's there. But I remember there was this bare man, and then someone got beat up in the middle. I never forget that day because someone got wrapped up in the middle of that party. Yeah.
No, yeah. If you didn't say all of that, it's funny what man remembers from there. I just remember clashing Temp, man. I'm thinking this youth is sick. Shit, I'm on the ropes. Because not only that, he had the crowd. Like, you know, he's got like he was a big youth as well, bro, and he was sick. Like the way he delivered, like whatever kind of bars I was spraying, he's like, shit. Like, what's my next? Like, my brother's on the decks. My brother reloaded him. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, bro, you gotta reload me. Like, that's all bias and that. Like, you gotta be biased now. Like, this is your time to be biased, bro. Man was like, I had to pull him up still. So yeah, that was mad. But yeah, man used to have pure like little clashes, like Clash Big Nasty. This is like, there was a house party culture kind of growing up in the music thing. You go around to house parties, see who's there, and you end up banning someone. Like, bruv, who told me to go against Big Nasty, bruv? Like,
I had bars back in the day.
Like, same with the Tempman thing. He had like, oh my days, it's done it again. Nasty's hit you with Matt 10. No matter what I'd done, it was never gonna work in that house.
Because that one bar was just
never gonna. Yeah, no matter what I said, I was kind of like new to the music thing as well then. But yeah, there's loads of little kind of clashes. I think I clashed, obviously I clashed Dot Rotten, Young Teflon. And I haven't taken any L's, by the way.
You ain't took no L's?
I didn't take no L's except for Big Nasty. But I'm talking about like all those other ones I didn't. But this was years ago though. Years ago.
That was a clashing culture.
Yeah. It was very much like you run up and then obviously let's have it out, innit?
Yeah, I used to like that. That was me. That was me all day. Anyone knows me, that's what I used to live for. Yeah, what? Who's there? I put the Norwood ones, yeah? Don't lie. I man's coming to you now. I'm getting the man in that we're coming up. Yeah. Because you see, whenever I heard that Norwood is there, I knew it was cool. Because Norwood wasn't really like, you know, if you heard certain other ones, other areas, like, oh, better sneaky ones. They're gonna try and sneak man's phone, or you know, like, or try and ambush man and pretend like man's friend in that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, them ones I used to like the Norwood ones. Like I said, obviously Gizmo my cousin, and that's when I just knew everyone because of him.
Yeah, Giz man. That was kind of the first face I remember in Norwood.
No way.
Yeah. I would say that was probably my first. I wouldn't even call him a friend. He was a bit of a terrorist still. I remember he took my bike and that. I was like 4. But he didn't take it. What happened was I gave it to someone. I gave it to like a 5-year, like another kid. Like, little man, I got a bigger bike, innit? Well, my dad got me. Like I said, we didn't know money, innit? It was all good. So I got a bigger bike, gave it to this little youth Barry, bro. And man just took the bike off Barry still. It's like, what are you doing, man? I give the youth back. I didn't give it to you, Gizmo. And then you get me, he just used to ride around on Barry's bike, bro. And I was like, Barry, if you're not gonna try and get your bike back, that bike's gone, bro.
And you know the funny thing, Gizmo was a bike man.
Yeah.
He was
He was sick.
That's how his bike life started. It's mad. I didn't even know that one. That was the next one.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. What memories do you have of Gizmo?
It was funny, bro. He was funny, bro. Like, even sometimes when... But the thing is, it was like... The kind of jokes or the level of his funniness, you couldn't really get away with it now. Man would be too sensitive, you know, like if you had a disability, man would brush you about your disability. I feel no way about it. And then you're not meant to laugh, but there's something that sometimes, shit, that was out of order. Like there was a guy with a metal plate in his leg, so he started calling him Robocop. You're not meant to laugh when you see what you did. All man's got is a metal plate in his Alright. See, I knew when I said that, I said, man might smirk. You done a big laugh, like, you get what I'm trying to say?
Man said Robocop.
For having a metal plate in the leg, man called a Robocop.
No, that's real. That's real.
You know what I mean? So he was that level of funny, bro. So he's just hella funny. And you know what? There's so many good stories about him. I remember when I just had my son, and I think it might have been like one of those kind of chicken or swine flus going around at the time. And my missus at the time got it. And then it was just me and my son. So she basically was isolating with whoever else had it in her family, and I've just got my son. And Gizmo has kind of understood the struggles of being a new dad by yourself with a newborn. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So he was on deck, bro. Like, he'll come, check me. Like, if I need to go and get some food or bottle milk, like, come by them, we're rolling. Deep like that. When I moved into the house, I hodded like all my bedrooms and my family. I need some help to decorate. The only brother that came through.
Gizmo.
To help paint the walls and that. Like, so it's just like those little things when he's kind of like deep at that, this was my actual bedroom.
He was actually a real friend.
That was my actual bedroom.
Yeah, he was a real friend.
We lived like 2 minutes away from each other. Do you know what I mean? And anytime when I did start to kind of get a bit of money or whatever, my face was bait from music. Anyone that used to kind of chat shit, because I don't know, it kind of bred a little bit of hate or something towards me, innit? He'll shut that down and he'll come and tell me like, my man's talking sideways about you. I have to tell him, like, you know, like one of those brothers there. So loads of love for him, man. It was just sad. Like, I went to kind of see him in Kingston. It was just sad to see, bro. I saw him at hospital twice. Kind of broke down. Like, I couldn't take it because he just didn't look the same, innit? Yeah, so I broke down into tears.
I couldn't do that.
Then I went out to Kingston, saw him in Southwark. Saw him in Norwood. So it was just like you just saw
the deterioration.
Yeah, bro. And it's like, bro, you're so far away from what you was. So it was just like I had to hold on to those memories of him being funny, of him doing all those good things, because this was a sore sight, kind of.
It's funny that you said that when you moved into your house that he was the only one that helped you. When I moved into my house, exact same thing. I was lonely, bro. I just got my yard. I was young, and he was the only person that used to, like, he helped me move my stuff in, and he was just there.
Yeah.
Got my yard. You know, makes sense.
Yeah.
And Gizmo's the type of guy. Yeah, everyone knows about Gizmo. You can call him at any time. Anytime. I used to call him at like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, banging pro, and I'd be like, "Yeah, what are you doing?" He's like, "I ain't doing nothing. I'm in Stratton. I'm coming to your house now."
Yeah.
Rude boy, no word of a lie. 30 minutes later, boom, boom, boom. Man's at my house. I'm like, "Bro, you got a fast, my brother. What you got? What you on?" He's like,
mad. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't play, man. That was the thing. It was just kind of, he was there when you needed him still.
That's a real friend.
And that's the thing. It's like, raw. And the thing is with me, I'm very like self-reliant. Like I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to ask for handouts. But when I do, if you don't come through, I take it hella personal. And I shouldn't. Yeah. I shouldn't, because I shouldn't really be putting like my faith in someone else to help me. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
But it's because I never asked for help. Like, I could be on my face. I'm gonna find a way to help how to get off my face. So 100%. If it's like, I've moved in. And the reason why is because we're up against time. We have to move out of one property to move into this one. I need to get it decorated so my son can come in. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, cool.
I need help. Reached out. No one didn't want to help. He came through, and we painted the yard. That was one time, obviously. Like, just kind of like, I have to go to Tesco's and get powder milk and nappies and this those little things, bro. You just realise that, my man was just man, good friend, bro, good person, man. And he would rinse you. He would rinse you as well. So yeah, that was the memories I have of him, man.
Single parent households is the reason for a lot of crime.
I think environment more. Make your mum be growing up in Cambridge with you and her, and she's well off. Crime you out there committing, bro. Make her be growing up in Tulsa or West Norwood on her face, You know what I'm trying to say? So I think, and some single parents do an amazing job, and sometimes you just don't have the know-how, bro. Like sometimes, like if it's been like bad parenting, down, how much hope have you got of being a good parent if you have there's no book about it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to roll, and you have to see my child is growing up a certain way, and I have to raise them a certain way. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's more down to environment than
the actual
than being single parent household. What do you reckon?
Both. I think that the single parenting, I think that when it comes to single parents, a mum trying to raise a boy is very difficult because there's certain inherent traits that is impossible for her to teach a boy, and every boy gets to a point in his life where he thinks he's a man. Yeah. And it can come at any age. Yeah. But it's gonna come at a certain time. So it's like from like 12 to about 16. Every boy goes through the thing where he thinks, I'm a man. I can take care of myself. I can do everything myself. I don't need anyone to help. And he goes through that phase. Now, if you don't have a male role model around you to look up to, or that's trying to guide you in any direction, you're just gonna pick the direction of. So,
yeah. All right. So, what if it was a single dad then? Would that change things?
Yes.
So you're saying single mother?
Single dad for a boy, but not for a girl.
All right.
Because a man can never tell a girl how to, and that girl will grow up. And there is girls out there that grew up kind of mad because they was with their dad. Because the dad he gave her money, he showed her love, but then what happened to discipline? Yeah. Do it make sense?
Yeah.
And he doesn't want
always gonna kind of go softer on you girls. Yeah.
Thank you. And if the mum died or something happened to the mum and she's not there, he's gonna overcompensate with love. Yeah. So he's gonna try and be the most loving dad. Yeah. But then the point here, which is gonna go wrong, is that there has to be a level of discipline that she's getting, and if she doesn't get that, then you know what I'm saying. And only a woman can really understand certain dynamics of a woman. Like she's on her period, I'm just like, what's wrong with her? Why are you acting all crazy? Yeah. And then I'm not gonna go out and buy a period pads and say, when's your period come? Your period ain't come. Mine came 2 days ago. Why aren't yours here? Like, no, man.
It's true. We're not tapped in. No. Definitely to our female children, but definitely with your boys, yes. And I think we was kind of touching on this before. It feels like we have that kind of duty. Like I've got a boy and a girl, and it comes to that with my daughters, it's a case of that all I need to do is love them. Because like what you said, the mum's going to kind of show her how to be a woman. Yeah. With my son, I have a fucking duty that you need to be the best human being, best man you could ever be, the best version of yourself, whether that is like having principles first. Obviously both your children, but like I said, I will show my son the road of how to be the best man he can be, whether that is financial stability, whether that is just deep down like being down to truth and rights, principles, how to take care of things. If this, like, you know what I mean, so many scenarios. Do you know what I mean? And with your daughter, there's less of that, so you just end up saying, "Oh, all I got to do is love my baby," and then you end up being a bit more harsh on your son. And the thing is that even what we was watching the other day, raising your children doesn't stop when they think they're self-reliant or when they think they're a man. Like
Thank you.
Like you could even be 25. Now I'm still gonna check in.
Of course.
I still got a job to do. Like you're only 25 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's still when I can kind of see you kind of demonstrating, you know, this hard job of you being a boy to a man. I kind of take a little bit of a step back. Yeah. It's not a full one. I just think if you're a dad, you're a dad for life. You're not a dad until, you know, they think they become a man. So I think it's that. But in regards of, you know, the influence of a single parent household, I reckon it's more down to environment still.
Environment,
yeah. Yeah. If your mum's a millionaire living in Cambridge, bro, what crime are you committing? What crime? No, you still might come up with your fucked up ways. You're gonna be a spoiled little prick, more like, you get me? You're gonna be an idiot, or do you know what I mean? You could be like that, but you're not gonna be out there committing crime for what? Unless you just want to do that, and sometimes people just want to do bad things. But like I said, when man got into certain things, it was because we was come from poverty. So if you're like you got resources of money, the fuck you doing? Like, it's gonna be spoiled probably.
It's true. I respect that, man. If you had a message to your younger self, what would you say to your younger self?
Hard one, man. Hard one. I would say probably believe in yourself, because, like I said, going through school, it wasn't that probably I will never know now because I'm never going to do my GCSEs again. But it was a case of that I would never know if I was intelligent, or I would just never know if I didn't believe I could succeed. I just didn't. I genuinely thought that no matter what I do, I'm going to fail. Like, I just had that feeling. And I think that was a low self-esteem thing. I think that is deep rooted within our community, that for some reason we don't believe we can be great. So it'll be pushing that message that you are great. You get your head down and you can be great. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the time, like, a kid can have those dreams of, like, I'm going to fulfill my potential,
but he doesn't believe in it.
He doesn't believe in himself, bro. So it's you could say it's parenting, or you could say that it's something that's just deep rooted within our community, that at some point we stopped believing that we could be great for some reason.
I think that has a lot to do with environment. I believe that.
Okay.
Because if you put me, because I looked at all the politicians, and majority of them went to the same kind of private schools and stuff like that. I didn't know this, but someone showed me that David Cameron, Boris Johnson,
all
kind of went to the same private schools. So I was like, raw. So in that environment, all of them men must have been thinking, I'm going to be Prime Minister. I'm gonna be this. You know what I'm saying? So if you put me in that environment, I'm going to flourish just like the environment that I'm in now for what I do. Yeah. I'm flourishing because I'm in an environment where I feel confident and I feel like I can do this better than everyone. Yeah. So I'm just flourishing in that environment. Mm-hmm. But if you put me in a less flourishing environment, then I would be flourishing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's more to do with environment, because if we all believe that we can, like, I always say this to these little kids, like, why don't none of you want to be astronauts or build spaceships? And everyone just looks at me weird, like I'm a weirdo, like, just for saying that. Yeah. But if you was in an environment where your whole family was working for NASA, you would grow up believing that I can make a spaceship. It's just that man has no belief that they can do it. It's
definitely environment, actually, and your peer group. Yeah. Because what had happened was I messed up in school, messed up in college, but I was able to go. I went to university, not even for the grades. I had to go there kind of on a mad one to do something. So when I'm in university, it's a bag of youths. I'm like, I'm gonna get this grade. Like, do you know what I mean? It just made so much sense. It's like, rah. That's what you meant, like the like, man. But it's like, I'm gonna, like, the focus was different, bro. Like, and where I'm a money man, in the sense of, like, I'm tight. I'm hella tight. Everyone knows me. I'm hella tight. Like, I could, no, big man thing. I could be sitting on peas, but you'll never know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So now in uni, you're paying for this grade, innit? You're paying for the course. So it's like, right, I'm not gonna come out with hella debt and have a shit grade. It doesn't make sense. So now I've got motivation to not be in a worse financial position. This is the only reason why I came out with a decent result in uni. You get me? I got into 2-1 is like a decent one to kind of come out there. First is the best, 2-1, second 2-2 of a bachelor's arts or whatever. So obviously coming from that environment of, it's true what you're saying, come from that environment where there's not much hope, not much self-belief, you don't believe it. No. Go into that environment when everyone's believing that I'm gonna do great.
You're gonna do it, bro, because everyone's doing it.
Man, done it still. See? That was the only time I achieved educationally was in uni. Like, I didn't achieve in school. Like, my stats weren't good. What I did in college, I got like when you just scrape a pass. Like, it was always that. Got into uni and it's like, raw, man's gonna come out of hella debt and a shit result. Are you mad? Like, it was just a different mindset, and having the people around me at the time
that drove you.
Definitely, I 100% agree with environment still.
Yeah, that's the way, bro. Because I believe that your environment shapes who you are.
Yeah.
Whether you want to believe
you're product of your environment.
Yeah. That's why if someone keeps going back and forth to jail, you're thinking, what's wrong with my man? But the way he moves, he moves kind of like he's in jail. I've met man like that. That's just been introduced.
Do you go to jail?
Yeah, I went to prison.
How long you go for?
I went many times. Numerous times.
Okay. So you probably know this better than me, and it could be a theory or concept, yeah? That if you've done a proper burn, your food, you haven't got to worry about rent, pressures of outside life. Sometimes is it a case that you can get into a mindset of that? Not even like I prefer a job, but I'm safer here.
No,
I haven't got a safety net.
No,
is that anyone's mindset?
There's
that's what I'm trying to say. Is that some people's mindset?
I think the older man in jail that used to bun crack on roads and
what's the matter? Let this go, bro.
Them older guys in jail, yeah.
I got you. Remember, I got you. Yeah. No, this is him still. I said it once and I had respect.
The older guys in jail that smoke crack.
Jesus.
Let me hit you. You man love prison because it's an easy run. I could not like that place because number one, I don't like men, bro. Oh yeah. I can't be around men all day. I like being around. I don't like being around men. Estrogen. Yeah, I don't like to be around men.
It's
the
hormone
much.
They give off.
It's too much testosterone.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Because I used to be in like my little gang and around my friends. But then there was a point where I used to like shut off. Like I'd just go and just. I'd disappear for like 2-3 hours.
I was just around a bag of gal.
Yeah.
A man must have thought I was beating all of them. Most of them were just bedrooms. I just can't like. It's a bit too much testosterone, like what you're saying. Yeah. So we saying jailhouse was kind of.
That's the same. And then if you have a life on the outside, like you've got dreams and stuff. Like I had dreams that I was always thinking that I was gonna blow up in a music game and I was gonna bust.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it from inside jail. I had to be out on roads.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And then
so your dreams are kind of being like damaged because it's holding you back.
Yes,
you
I actually thought I had a sick talent. And I
was sick.
And I was
smart bang. Yeah, man.
Allow me, everyone's doing the smart bang.
Right? The smart bang. So
and then
that was your signature bar though.
Everyone hits
no, I'm not saying that you didn't have bars, but if man was to say rare man, that's the bars they're gonna like when people say wild sometimes they remember me for sticky business. Like, how many years that was ago? Like,
mad years.
And I did something over the Kano beat back in the day. Do you remember seeing it?
Yeah.
But it's definitely good to have those dreams and that and
that's why I couldn't. Prison for me wasn't even an idea.
Standstill. Yeah.
It wasn't even an idea. I was like depressed. Like bro, like what's going on? Like my life is because outside I've got a good life. You know what I'm saying? I'm making money. You know what I'm saying? I've got everything. My family, my mum. Like you know, I'm close to my mum. I've got bare brothers. I'm close to my family. So people that don't have dreams or don't have a life, and it's free food, it's accommodation.
Yeah.
You can get a job. You get £16 a week. Is it £16? I think it's even cheaper than that, £8 a week. You know what I'm saying? This is what I find funny with people, yeah? And tell me this is not a joke. I'll share a joke with you. A man will say to me, who goes jail lots of times, and he has lots of jail jobs, I ain't never working for no government.
Well, he's working in jailhouse. Okay, that's mad still.
And he's getting peanuts, bro. I'm talking about like £20 max. Yeah. And that's for a week. Work, and that's everyday work. And you know when a man cleans the landings, oh Lord have mercy. Cleaning the landing is like some long strip you just clean.
It's hard labour still. So what do you reckon about the rehabilitation then? Because like if you had to keep going back, would you say that you was rehabilitated? Now you must be because I'm presuming that you've been out for a minute.
Rehabilitation to me is just having a strong desire to not want to go back to a place.
So would you say that, because there's two ways this can be done, right? So they can rehabilitate you by trying to not break you mentally, but like, you know, taking away your freedom literally, like no phone, no you know, this is shut off. Then that would make you appreciate your freedom when you come out. Or it's the kind of nicey way of doing it. This brother needs, not everyone, because some people are just gone, right? But there's a certain group who have got potential who, you know, if you give them a chance, they're going to do the right thing. When they get to see their probation officer, they might even like flick in a little bit of therapy they should do. Or is there another way to rehabilitate people? Or is it, you know, it's deep within, like, go jail, I don't like it here, man, ain't going back. Is it more to do with that? Or do you reckon there is an external thing that could happen where they can make it a bit more easier for people not to want to return or reoffend?
It's, like I said, it's all down to your environment again, because if you're around people that always go in prison, you're living a certain lifestyle, it's only a matter of time before you get caught. Nothing can last forever. If you're a bad boy and you're putting in work, like any little youth that's out there now, and you're chefing man up and you're splashing man, and you're actually doing what you're actually saying, it's only a matter of time before you go to prison. Because you're going to get caught eventually. You're not going to do every single drill and not get nicked. You know what I'm saying? Especially your way you're rapping. You're not going to do every single drill and get away. You're going to leave blood at a scene once, or a camera catches you, or you're going to get nicked. You're going to go to prison. You're going to have to sit down. Now, if all my friends are in prison, bro, it's like a holiday camp. It's like all I am is with the mandem. And I felt like that in one prison that I went to. I was just like with bare mandem. But then the same side of that now is there's other mandem. You know what I'm saying? So now it's a sticky kind of situation because them man want to do this to that man and that man to this man, and we violated him. I was there, so them man saying that I'm involved. So they're coming to get. It's crazy. So prison has its own politics anyway. But if your mindset is that when I come out, I'm going straight back to the same place I went from, then it's only a matter of time before you go back to the same place you just came from. So it's just a cycle. So I just call it the cycle of like a rat. You give it cheese, and it keeps trying to chase the cheese until it gets it. And eventually, it dies. It doesn't even realise it's dead because it's been trying to chase the cheese all that time. And it's the same with the mindset of if you go prison and you and yourself don't have something that's stopping you from doing crime. For instance, like there's some people, I met people that they became Muslim, so they're never going to do crime again because they're like, that's haram now. You know what I'm saying? Astaghfirullah, I'm doing all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Bare respect to every brother that took the Shahada in jail. And then you got man that said, bro, I'm a Christian. I'm not even doing that. I'm on some holy thing. There's other men that have a girl that is providing an opportunity for him to get out of that kind of life. So she's got a sick job and she's saying, just come live with me and I'll take care of you. There's different ways and avenues for people to get out of it. But just you go in prison, it's not rehabilitating no one, because even if you do courses in jail, you still are going back to the wing and you're seeing, because I think prison is the most toxic environment you can put someone in. You could go in there as a normal
from when
guy.
you said that, there's no rehabilitation there. If it's that toxic,
it's mad toxic. Because even man, I was even in prison with men that weren't bad, but because they were around bad boys, they had to become bad. And even me, I thought I was bad. I went to prison and I realised I wasn't even a bad boy.
You're just like everyone else.
No, I'm a good youth compared to these youths. These youths are devils. These men are evil. They're talking about stabbing their friend up in the cell that they've known all their life. So I'm looking at man like, raw. You would really do that to him for weed. I'm looking at man thinking, raw, like, I thought I was bad, but even in my heart, I'm like, this is wrong. We're plotting to take my man out, but he was with us in the cell yesterday and was all vibing. But because he never brought you in the weed, you're gonna stab him in the heart, like mad. So I realised I wasn't even bad in prison. I just realised I was just a normal guy, and there was actually bad youths that were sick in their head. They were mentally ill, and they'll just do anything. They'll just do anything, and they don't care about the consequences. I realised that when I went to prison. I didn't know that before. I thought that everybody was like kind of on it and it's an alright place. Nah, bro. There's some mentally ill people inside a prison,
and that's probably a separation thing that they probably who are not going to be rehabilitated and who have got mental issues. Would you reckon there needs to be a bit more emphasis of getting them the right help they need? Yeah, because I don't even think Morsy's going to help a brother. No. Section them how? Like, I don't reckon. Obviously, some people do go. Whatever, they might not come out. I know they might not come out the same, but they come out and they're a bit different. So there's that bit. But do you reckon that there should be a separation between the people who are suffering with mental illness from just a normal convict?
If man's suffering from mental health and you're putting him in prison, all you're doing is messing up his mental health even more. True. There's a lot of people that need counselling in prison because prison in itself is another place of destruction. Prison's a crazy place, you know. Things that you see. I never forget my first day on A-Wing, bro. I came on A-Wing. Everyone's like, A-Wing's where it's popping. A-Wing's where it's popping. First day, I got my bags in my hand, come up on the landing.
This is the first time you went?
First day on the wing. I mean, I just came from induction wing. Just my first day. I've just come with my bags on the wing. He said, go to the third floor. Gone to the third floor. I've put my bags down. I look to the right of me. I see you go, what? You think I'm a prick? Bow! Banged him in his face. I was like, what the hell? Come out on Soch that same day, because that was at Juma. That was after Juma. Man was fighting after Juma. It's all mad. And then after, I'm on the landing for Soch. I see you run up to another youth with a knife, whoom, lick the youth's face, ripped his face. You flipping rapist or you paedophile. He said something to him.
Got him.
And then I was like, Ross, so this is my first day and I've seen 2 incidents.
Yeah.
Now, for me, alright, this stuff I might have done stuff and whatever, but just to see this in this environment, I'm paranoid now. I'm like, raw.
Yeah.
What is going on? This is mad.
PTSD, I would imagine, would be, because obviously man will get that from the block, but to then get that in there, you're gonna have
a lot of people suffering from that.
Post-traumatic stress
Bro,
disorder.
in jail, I'll be real with you. I was in my bed in the morning, and see when I used to hear the doors opening, because I'd hear 4 doors down, ching ching. I'm jumping up, slapping on all my clothes, and I'm standing up. I was so paranoid, man, as this could come to me, because I see people get mashed up for nothing. Like, man, walk into your cell while you're sleeping in the morning, put a pillow over your head. Oh Lord, the beat, all you're hearing is boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And you see man walk out, it's a 30-second beating.
Yeah.
But bro, when you see man come out on the landing, you'd have thought he got hit by a bus, bruv. The way he looked, the amount of blood man's pouring on the landing. Yeah. And just imagine waking out your sleep and just getting pounded. Yeah. That's mentally crazy. Yeah. Come from a dream to just a reality. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think they don't counsel people after that all happens.
Nah.
There's no
what inside or when you come on road?
In jail, they don't counsel you after.
It's a mess. It's a mess then, because obviously, remember, we're talking about, obviously, there's that kind of punishment side. Obviously, you've done something wrong, you got to go inside. But there's the whole rehabilitation that you're meant to come out and not do that again. If you're going into there's no counsel. All you're seeing is things that are going to give you trauma.
Mad traumatic things.
It's just going to be mad. It's a madness. It's just going to manifest whatever's going on.
And then you go out on road with all of that energy now.
Yeah.
So I've already made 4 bad links already, because I met some youths in East, I met some youths from West. You know, like now man's a little bit more connected.
Yeah.
My man saying
he was networking.
Yeah, my man saying you can get this, my man saying you can get that. We'll say that on my brother. Yeah. If you're really about what you're saying, we're gonna link up.
Let's link up.
Yeah. So now I've created different. So your criminal enterprise is expanded.
Yeah.
So I've got man up in Leicester, I've got man up in Leeds, because I'm all over the place.
You're connected,
So now my crime life is even worse. So does it make sense? So I'll come out. My man's like, yeah, we can get you this and get you that, man. Where you at, man? And they're linking me, and we're linking each other. And he's on this, he's with his crew, and I'm with my crew, and they're linking, and it's so great. And that's why I said prison sometimes is not always the best solution for some of these youngsters.
No.
Like, we have to find different.
There needs to be a medium, bro. Wherever it is that you got to attend therapy and
Yeah.
whatever it is, and then at the end of it, I'm not talking about for the fucked up people that like the nonsense and that, bro. I'm talking about for the people who've done something minor. There needs to be like a little middle way thing.
Yeah. Before you send him to prison.
Yeah.
Let me sit down, let's do a therapy session and analyze, is he suffering from PTSD?
Yeah.
If that is, let's try and get him away from the area that he's in.
Yeah.
I believe that a lot of the youngsters, if they moved from their estate and went out, they wouldn't be the same person they are today.
100%. Again, like I said, when I went to Hitherfield, I was wild. When I went to Harris, I calmed down. When I went to uni, I was on a certain level. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's definitely the thing. But what do you think? I saw this the other day, that when the older now sends a younger town, they can get done for human trafficking. Back in the day, if you got caught up in town in Crunch, you're getting bagged. As a kid, you're gonna do time. But now it's like they've kind of cottoned on that. Right, man didn't really want to go town. Man's being groomed by an older who's promising you the world. All they're gonna do is pay men in tracksuits, really. Tracksuits had a little tickle me, you get me, and then you're never gonna get paid. You're never gonna get paid. All you're gonna do is get your tracksuit and tickle me, bro. And that's it. And then you're back up in country. So back in the day, obviously, if you get caught up there, you're getting nicked and you're doing time like you was a drug dealer. Now that little 13-year-old who was getting sent town is coming back to his parent, and the person who kind of put him up there is now getting down to human trafficking. Like, so why wasn't, I don't know, not like why it wasn't happening. Obviously it's a complicated scenario, but don't you think that things like this should kind of like, everything needs to be kind of looked outside of the box? So when you said someone got post-traumatic stress disorder, I think they should really be assessed for it and then you make a decision. I don't think it's fair. I think a lot of things, I don't think the whole kind of law thing's always fair.
If you, like I said, that even that law doesn't even make sense, because
the human trafficking thing.
Yeah, because some of these youngers, and I know a lot of them, they want to make money. They say, "How can I make money? How can I make money?" And someone says, "All right, I'll bring you here, and I'll bring you there." Now, the thing is, you can only take someone as far as they're willing to walk. You ever heard that saying? You can take the horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Yeah.
The same with the little younger when he's going to country.
Yeah.
I could take a younger country. He can say, I want to come country. Now, that's on him. I haven't groomed him. He came to me because 9 out of 10 times, olders are not... This perception is crazy that olders are going to youngers' schools, stand outside, come out, walk one, jump in my car.
You don't think that's real?
That's not real, bro.
I can't know. Explain this to me then.
Because we was young once.
Obviously.
Remember when man went country?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go country?
Because I just didn't want to do it.
Thank you very much. You had a decision.
But they tried though.
They didn't try. They just said, "Rod, do you want to make money?"
Yeah, but it's true.
Trying is like if you sell human trafficking.
But is it changed now? That's what I'm trying to say. Because I know a social worker who's like, "Bro, their parents are trying to get their kid back. Can't get them back."
Bro, if I don't look, listen. This is where the problem is.
So am I being naive then?
And you know what the deep thing about this is?
Go on.
Is the parents are not wanting to take responsibility. And I'm going to do a whole show about this, yeah? That, is it the parents' fault if the child turns to the roads? You answer that question.
Are you asking me this for your next show?
Yeah, this is my next show. I'm telling you.
Are you asking me now?
I'm asking you now.
Okay, is it the parents' fault that the child turns to the road? Yes.
Thank you.
In short, yes.
It's deeper than that, but...
Yeah, yes, in short, yes. And I can break it down partially when I say, if the parents were in a better scenario to give their child something different, not even be on the roads, no disrespect, but no one wants to grow up on Tulsa or West Norwood, the council estate, bro. So if your parent kind of created that kind of lifestyle and opportunity outside, like the mansion in Cambridge, you're going to be on the road. So it is the parents' fault.
Yes.
And it's going to be our fault if we don't get our children out of the environment. It's going to be our fault if our children turn to the road. If we can't move them out of here, what hope are we giving them if they're going to grow up in the same estate?
It's true.
It's going to be down to us, because obviously if we kind of made the money we needed to, where would we be?
Yeah.
I mean,
100%. Because I was thinking to myself, this topic's actually a big topic, and I'm going to take this topic on, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, but it depends how you see it. That's how I see it. Like, some people are like, "Oh, what's going on with the youth today?" Bitch, check yourself. Like, what opportunities? Like, what? Like, I'm trying. No, not like that, but
that was real.
Do you know why I'm saying that? Because look, I'm trying to kind of generate wealth for my child.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's certain people that, when they hit 18, they're getting like 50 bags.
100%.
What am I going to give to my children when they hit a certain age? Do you know what I mean? Or how am I trying to set things up for them? Like, if my son reaches 25 and I can't say, here, take this flat, take this, take that, then I've kind of, not set him up to fail, but...
You have.
I have actually. Yeah. I haven't given them much
because we're meant to break the generational curse.
Yeah.
Man's not meant to make our children go through that same thing, because then the same in 20 years, just like my man that was watching last night, the 1987 thing. He done that thing in 1987. We're in 2021.
It's got worse.
And he was trying to break game to us and teach us certain things. But
I'm trying to kick that shit, bro.
Now you go to a younger, you show them that video, be like, this is old. I don't want to watch it.
Bro, it looks like it's on a VCR.
It was
like, they want this ain't no 4K, man. They watching this one.
That's old school, but it's dropping knowledge on you.
It's sick.
Mad
sick,
knowledge.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely, Ydone. I'm gonna bring you in for that topic. Is it the parents' fault? I'm gonna
bust me on it, bro. I'll come back whenever you need me.
We're gonna dissect that topic way more, because I think a lot of parents are living in denial and they're saying, "Oh, my child, they don't want to give my child back." No, your child don't want to come back because he doesn't like the yard. You're always bringing different men in the yard, and he doesn't like it. That's the truth, mummy. That's whatever single mum out there that you need to hear this. Stop bringing men around your child, because your child, he gets to a certain age and he's not dumb. He's thinking, wait a second, I've seen 5 different men in this yard, but my mum says that she's loyal on social media. How are you loyal, mum? Wait a second. My mum's to the streets, bro. I'm hitting the roads. It's the realest. I hate to be this harsh and
brutally honest.
But don't say your child is taken by them elders. You gave them him by what you was doing at home. He feels more comfortable, and that's why I see my little brother was growing up. I remember they got him a computer, and they're like, it's bad computer. And my little brother was on computer all day, every day, all day. But my little brother never turned and rolled you. So every time he tried to do road, got bagged.
He's went for him.
Because it wasn't for him.
It's not for him.
Because we had him in the house. Why did you start out there doing the man? Yeah. We had him in the house just banging.
Yeah, so every time he tried, yeah.
So every time he wasn't street smart like other youths.
Yeah.
So, but when he was trying, he's just getting nicked. But no one could say that my little brother was getting human trafficked. If he went to go and do whatever he done it because he wanted to do it.
Yeah,
he wanted to make money.
Yeah.
He saw an opportunity. He wanted to be bad. It was from him. It's nothing to do with an older holding the youth hostage saying, stay in my yard.
Yeah.
When you get too deep into it, it gets a little bit more tricky. But at the beginning of it, it's nothing like that, man.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that at all.